Hello guys. In this video you're going to see how to create Google form. Google Forms is very important anytime you just want to create survey, anytime you just want to create a quiz. You can simply use Google Form, and it's very easy to use and it is very helpful because you get the information that you want easily. Now, how to just start a Google Form? There are different ways that we can just start creating your Google Form. Simply just open any browser and here you see have Chrome. Once I go to the app launcher here, Google app launcher here, you can see have Drive, and I can pass through Drive to the Google Forms. Or simply I can scroll down to see Forms here down. You see here Forms is one of the apps of Google, and I can just access it passing through here, or I can just access it by simply clicking on Drive. Once I click on Drive, you can see here I have I'm now in my Drive. Now once I go to New, it is very easy now to go to Google Forms and start creating a survey form or quiz. Once you go to this arrow, click on this arrow, you see how blank form, blank quiz, and I can just go from a template. Once I go from a template, let's see what I have here. You see I have different templates. This is the contact information. This is RSVP, party, here is a party invite, and here I can just start from template. It means you are not starting from scratch. But if you just want to start your own form, you can just go to blank and start your own form. This is one way. Or I can just let me open another tab. I can just simply type here. I can type forms.google.com and I hit enter to see what I get. You can see here I have it's similar as if I pass to my drive. Now here you see have Google Form. I can just start with a blank. Once I click on a blank, you can see I immediately get an untitled form. With this untitled form, I can just start now see how forms works. I can now here show you there is question, there is a response, there is setting, and here there is a theme where you can just customize your theme. Here you see we have preview. This is where you click once you want to see the form, how your form will appear in time it relates to the respondent. We just click here to undo. All we do anytime just to make a mistake, you can undo, or you can just redo what you just have written. Now you go to send anytime you just want to send the form, or anytime you just want to generate the link to give to other people to respond. And we'll see how we shall have here to this more on this three dot here, and we'll see how it works. And down here you see you have questions, you have responses, you have settings. We'll see how we can just generate responses, because now we just haven't we don't have responses yet, because the form now that we just want to create is not ready to the respondent. And now we'll see how to adjust settings. We'll see how to adjust settings. Now let me start creating my form. As you see here, this is an entitled form. You can just type here to put a title. Maybe I can just call it atomic. Let me call it atomic structure. Atomic structure questions. Atomic structure questions. Down here it's where you put description. Put description here, and here you can type anything. Maybe it's instructions or something related to description. You can just here put attempt or questions. Well, here you can type in any kind of description that you want. Attempt or questions. Here to the right corner you can see what you have here. Anytime we just want to add a question, we type here. We just click on this plus sign, and we click here to import questions. It comes that the question that we just want to add is similar to the question that we just have used in the previous forms that we have created. You can just import question. And you just click here to add titles. I can just add title and description, and here down to add image, and here a video, and you can click here to add section. You can just here have one section, two sections, and so on, three sections in one form. And you will see how sections are very important once you are just making a quiz or survey form. You see now here our form is still entitled. You can here put a title. You can see anytime I click here, the title that I put here exactly immediately is now appearing here once I click here. But I can change it, and anytime I change it here, it don't change. It can change here too. Now let me click here to entitle the question to see how to set questions. By default, you see here questions are multiple choices. But anytime I click here, you can just see short answers, paragraph, multiple choices, multiple choice questions, checkboxes, drop down, file upload, linear scale, and multiple choice grid or tick box grid. And also date, you can see down, and here there is time. Here you choose depending on the question that you want, depending on the type of the question that you want to set. If it is a multiple choice question, you just choose multiple choice. If it is, if you are just requesting people to type their name, for example, type your full name. Type your full name. You can see here that the full name does not require to be a tick or box grid. It requires to be a short answer. Then I change it. Anybody who is going to open this form will start by typing the full name. As you see here down, you can see I can make this question required. Anytime I just click here, it means I'm making this required, and this will just be compulsory so that nobody can just jump this question. If it is not something that is compulsory, I can just uncheck. Can click here and just remove the required option. I can delete this question anytime I want, and I can just also duplicate. If it is similar to the question, or if it is related to the question that I want to add to the next, I can duplicate this. But if they are not related, I cannot. There is no need. I can also click here if I just want to show the description here or to response validation. If I just want to validate the response, we'll see how to do it to the next questions. Let me now add another question. Just because it is a full name, it's a name that people are just required to add, let me just make it required. And let me preview here to see. We just click here to preview how it will just look like. You can see for all required questions, you will see this red star. For all required questions, nobody is able to jump. You need to type something here. And then go back. Let me to add a question. As you see here, it is atomic structure questions. Let me here go to plus sign to add a question. You can see. And let me, for example, say, have you ever heard about atomic structure? Atomic structure. Here there are suggestions. And the form here is detecting the type of question that I'm just typing here, and it is suggesting the answer here. It is suggesting the question that I just want to pose. Yes, no, or maybe. I can just ignore this and type here options that I want, or I can just add these suggestions. Let me add all. Yes, no, maybe. I can here just remove the option if you want, or I can go just here type, I click here and add another option, or I can just remove it. If I just want my question to go with a picture, I can just type here to put a picture. Let me here just click on this. I can insert an image from my PC, can go to upload and go to browse, and then I can just go to camera, URL, photos, Google Drive, or Google image search. I can search for atom. Let me just type atom. If I want, hit enter. You see what I have here. Different picture, different images of an atom. Let me, for example, to this one. I click here and then I go to insert. And the image here is loading. And I wait a little bit to see it here. You see now I have the image. And all the options down here are down the image. You can just put your image here and options are here. And this image will just help the respondent to be familiar with the question that we're asking. I can make it required, as you have seen, or I can click here because it is a multiple choice to see what's there. Let me click here. You see description of this question, go to section based on the answer, shuffle order, option order. Once I click on shuffle option order, I will just shuffle this order. Maybe one respondent will see yes at the beginning, and now the respondent can see yes at the end or in the middle. Let me shuffle now the option order. Let me just click here and go to preview. Let's see. You can see what I have here. And the picture now is being loaded. You see it's still loading. And here you see I have yes, maybe no. Anytime I just load here. Let's see if I will just still have yes or if it will change. You see now I have no, yes, maybe. You see the changes. All my options here are shuffled. Anytime I just refresh here again, I can have something else. You can just shuffle the option order if you want. You can just cancel here and go to add questions. Now let me just add another section. By default, this one is considered as first section. Anytime I click here, it means I'm just want to add a section. And let me add another section. You can see by default it is section 2. And here this one it is section 1. And every section must have a title and description. I can here put questions about an atom. I can here put description or not. It is optional. Let me here type, click here to add questions, and it's a multiple choice question if you want. And let me copy it from here. You have just a word. There's some questions that I can just copy. I can just copy from here. I can then paste this question number 1. And here are options. I can here copy and just put options. Can here put options, can add options here. You can copy or can type if you want. You can type questions, you can just you can just copy, I copy and here paste, add option, I copy and then I paste. I can just remove those bullets. They are not needed. They are not needed. I can just I can even just remove the question number, or I can just let it like this. You see how now it's looking like. I can add other questions. You can see. And I still have the right to shuffle these options. I can just shuffle the options so that people will not see what's there. I can make them required so that nobody is going to jump. I can here put another question. Let me just copy the second question. I copy, then I paste. And here down options, I can go on and on. You can see here I have options. I can here just delete if you want, or I can just let me remove those bullets. I don't need those bullets. And I can make this required too. And now let me show you how it is important to use sections. How sections are very important. You see section 1. And question number 1 here, you can see, have you ever heard about atomic structure? If no, do I need to ask those questions here down for somebody who is not aware of anything about atom, or is no need? I can just create options so that if somebody says yes, we'll be able to continue to the section 2. If someone says no, we will not be able to continue. If it is maybe, I can just give him or her the chance to continue to the section 2 to answer questions. Let me try to do it. I can just click here on the question number 1. We just want to put options. And I come here and click here on those three dots. You can just see here my question, my just options here are shuffled, and here I can go to section based on answer. I can just choose this one. Once I click there, you can see what I have here now. If yes, continue to which section. If this one choose yes, which section I just want him or her to go to, I can just click here to choose section 1 or section 2. Section 2. If no, I can just say submit the form, because you have no idea about the atom. You can just use these anytime you're just making a form or quiz. Maybe it's a survey form, or it is a form or quiz. Let me just go to, if it is maybe, I can let this one also to go to the section 2 to answer those questions. After section 1, you can just continue to the next section, or you can just go to section 2 or submit the form. I can just go on and on and add other sections. Let me just put another section. Yeah, this is a section. Yeah, this one section 3. Let me just yeah, this is section 2. And down here, you can put other section. You need to put a cursor where you just want to put the section under, just below. Anytime I just put, anywhere I put my cursor, if I put my cursor here and I just go to add a question, the question will be just to go under this selection, under this selected question. Anytime I click here, you see the question is coming here. Let me undo. And it's the same as sections. Now, this section number 3. In this section, I can just say about atom. If you have a different section, make sure you give them the names. I can here say let me just make it a short answer. I can here say why. Why? And this question, I just want this question to be answered by this, by just they make it required. This is section 3. I just want it to be answered by this one who said no. I just want this one to go to the section 3 and answer why. You see, it is a short answer question. Let me go to preview and see. type your full name. Have you ever heard about atomic structure? You see here there is a next because I have the second section. Anytime I just click here and choose yes, and I go to next. Here the name is required. The name here is required. And I go to next. Because I have just chosen yes, you see what I have here, question about an atom. You see there are two questions that I have to answer. Here I need to change and make it a question number 2. Let me go back and choose no, for example, and then next. You see why? And this is from section 3, remember that. I see why. Guys, you see how sections are very important. It helps you, the sections help you to make your form or your survey form or your quiz very meaningful. Let me just go back to sections. Let me just now add another question here to the section 3. Let me undo and just go down here. I can put my cursor here to add the question under this question. And this question is under section 3. Why? Do you need at least to run about atoms? Let me make it a short answer, because this one will need to type. Or I can just make it a multiple choice question. I can just say yes or no. Yes or no. And I can just add other sections. If somebody says yes, I can just say, when do you want to start? How do you just want to start? If no, I can just request this one to submit the form. And here you can add image. You can see to every question, you can just add an image. And this section number 3. And you can just go there and add the sections and just rename the sections and do whatever you want with the sections. Let me just, guys, show you how to just here add sections. Another section if you want, section number 4. Or I can just here type to this to see what I have. Here you can see you can type this T and small t to add, and this is to add title description. I can just say thank you for your response. Thank you for your feedback. And this here can just put description if you want. This is how you just use this one. And here you can just import questions for the previous forms. You can see I have different forms, and I can just import question if you want. I can just click on any form and click on any question if it is related to the form that I'm creating or to the quiz that I'm creating, and import it to my new form. Let me cross here. And when this one is made a quiz, but remember that Within those questions, you can even create questions of different forms. You can just create a multiple choice, a checkbox if you want. You can here click on here to put options so that if somebody will check. And use those checkbox if you just want to choose more than one answer. You can just here put different options and somebody will just going to check. Let me here take, for example, this one. If it might be this might be a multiple choice question, but let me use it this way. You see it is one, but I can just it's not the first question, it is maybe the second. Let me remove numbering here. You can here choose copy those questions, but I'm using them here, but it's not the light way to use them. And here put the options. You can see here, you can remove those bullets, and anytime you do with this form, you don't need to save. They automatically saved to the drive. And you can see somebody here can check to choose more than one question, more than one answer. Once I go to preview, you can see you will need to choose maybe no, maybe yes. Let me choose no and go to next to see where it is, where to check. You can see, can check. It is different from multiple choice. Because multiple choice, you need to only pick one, but checkboxes will be used once you just want somebody to check to choose more multiple answers. You can see how to use checkbox, and you can also use. I'm trying to show you how to use all those different forms of question forms. I can just here go down. Let me add another question. I can just now choose a linear scale. You can see here you can just scale from 1 to 5. The knowledge, maybe the knowledge about chemistry, maybe. People here need to rate. Can say well needed. Well needed. I can say here, I can just start with the rest. All not needed. I can say just want to rate. Not needed. Less needed. Less needed. Or I can just here put, if it is 1, I can just put 5. If it is not needed, I can here put well needed to 5. Very needed. Let me go to preview, and I just put this under section of no. Let me go to next. Let me go to next, and you see how it is looking like. I'm just trying to show you how you can just use those questions, even if it is related to this question, but it is showing you how you can just create questions of the type. You can here choose less needed. You can here choose, you can rate 1 to 5. You can even just scale from 1 to 10. You can increase if you want. If you see clear here, you can just you can go from 0 to 10. You can see. Once I go to preview again, you can see what I have here. Let's see. You can see under no option, you can see you can just rate. Not needed, well needed here. You can see. And subtitle that I put here, it was a notification. it is a thanking message. Thank you for your feedback. And then you can submit the form. Let me go back. Now let me move to response. You can now explore many things there to see the type of questions that you can just ask, if it's a survey or if it's a quiz. Response will not be here because there is nobody who has answered anything in this form. Let me now go to settings. In settings is where you can just make this form that we have created a quiz. I can just check here to make it a quiz, and then time I check here to make it I click here to make it a quiz, and I go back to questions. You will see something new. You can see anytime I click here, you can see let me now here refresh to make it clear. Under the question 1 here, section 1, you can see there is answer key. This comes when you just set it as a quiz. Once I uncheck here, once I just click here again, this answer key will be removed. It will be removed. Because you see, anywhere I click, I see this answer key. This answer key comes because you just require to put answers, the correct answer, and marks. Anytime I click here, you can see I have where to put points. Maybe it is 5 point. I only type 5. You can even increase or decrease. You can see. And then here you can just add an answer feedback. But before that, you can just check. You need to check the correct answer. If the correct answer is yes, here you see, I'm just trying to show you because here you have a multiple choice. Have multiple choice, and you see, you remember how you just we built this. It is under sections. You can see maybe all these are answers. You can check one answer or more than one answer. I can just add answer feedback if you want. For incorrect answer, I can say revise. For example, if it is a question that is requiring to revise, you're not. Maybe. If for the correct answer, I can say wow, and I can save. And this question has 10 points, and also this question has a feedback. You can see for a correct answer it's wow, and for incorrect answer revise, you not. I can just click on done to confirm. You can see. And once I go here to preview, you can see. Once I go to under yes, let me click next. You can see there is no answer. You can see there is no answer. There is no correct answer here. You can go on to every question and just do the same. You see what is the charge of an electron. You can go to answer key and you choose one negative as a correct answer. You put here point. You can just use this one 5, and you can add a feedback. Done. And you can just make this one required if you want. For all required question, you will see this LED style. You can see. Let me go back to settings. If it is a quiz, immediately after submission, this form will release marks. And you can just click here if you just want them to see the marks later. But if you want them to see immediately the marks, you can just check here. You can see allow them to see the missed questions, correct answers, point values. You can see here are different settings. Once you come here to customize theme, you see it's where you can just customize the themes. Where if you just want to see different themes, you can see. In our themes, you can see here, can just change the color, theme color. I can just choose an image for header. You can just change the style. Here, this is the style, header, questions. You can change the size. You can just change the font style to Comic Sans this MC Times New Roman if you want. A Loboto. You can just here change the color. You see how the color is changing to this is the theme color. You can even change the background. You can see how the background is looking like. This is what we do with the form with just themes. I can go to this to preview how it's looking like. You can see now the color has changed. And I can just go back here and go to send the options to see. I can just send it to via email, or I can just give a link, and this link there is option to shorten it. I can just shorten this URL. I can make it very short so that somebody can type it if you want, or I can embed. You can just send this call to embed. You can just embed this video anywhere you want. You see what you have here once you just want to send, and you can go to copy and you put this link anywhere you want. And once you click here, you will see the questions. You see the questions. This one have been saved because it's the same email that I'm using. But once I open it, the browser, it will be different for a different email. And maximize this. Let me just copy the link and hit enter to see what I have. You can now see here it's not checked because it is for different email. You can see yes or no, next, depending on the choice, because we have used sections. You can see now how you can send this form to your respondent. You can here close here to go back to the questions, and here you can see once you go to more, you see what you have here. You can just make a copy. You can move to bin, get prefilled link, print. You can even print this link. You can print it as a PDF and give it people if you just want them to if it is a survey that you can just give to people to use to fill it manually if you want. You can here add collaborators if you just want to add people to collaborate with you in this form. Script editor, add-ons. Here there are add-ons also. Let me now go back here, try to answer. Let me, for example, click on yes and go to next. I can type my full name, maybe ABCD as a name, but if it is a survey that or a quiz, please put your name. This question, you see, it has 10 points, and you can see I can just go to next because I've clicked on yes. What is the center of an atom called? What is? I can check here, or I can check anywhere if where I see the correct answer, or anywhere I want if it is a survey form. I go to next. You see this one is about no, and this one that is questions that I can just use and just can just see about atoms. You can see what we have. I can just here type no if I want, or yes. I can here check. You see these are questions that have added to show you how to scale. These are really no questions that are related to what we wanted to ask. Here this one need to be responded. I can just type this one. and then submit. I just want to show how to, you can just view score. And remember that all questions are not score and just not marked as are not graded. You can see you have the total point. You see that it is possible to check the total point, the score that you have got. You see, many questions here have no answers. You can see this is 1-0 because we didn't put scores to every question. You can even submit another form. It means more than one people can use can just use one gadget. If it is a smartphone, if it is a PC, you can just respond and go to submit another response and start with answering. If somebody else is going to use this, your PC, your phone, or any other gadget to answer to the form. Let me go back to my Chrome. Here you see have one response because somebody now have responded. You can see what I have here. You can see accepted right here. You can see accepting responses. You're still accepting responses. Anytime I just click here, it means nobody's going to be able to submit the form again. Maybe you are just done with the respondent. You can just click here to not accept responses. If you still need people to respond, you just delete it like this. Here there is a summary. Here there is a question. You can even just go to question by question. Here you can just go to next and see how people responded. You can just go to individual and see how everybody depending on the name has responded. You can see one by one, summary, and here you can see there are charts. You can see a Google form just gives you everything, graphs, charts, whatever you need. Anytime you just want to have an Excel result in your Excel, you can just click here and go to create. And now you're just linking it to spreadsheet. You can see what I have here. Here there is score. If it is a list of students, you can media tree, keep this one. You can just keep this one. Here there is a list, there is answers that have answered. You can just edit this Excel and anyhow you want. You can go to file and just download it as an Excel. You can see as a PDF and just share it to your students if you want. And you see there is score. I will keep it if you are a teacher. If you are a teacher, you can keep it and keep the marks or score. Guys, this is a summary of how you can just use Google Forms. If it is a survey form, if it is a quiz, we have seen how in settings you can just make it a quiz, or how you can just make it a form. Anytime I remove this, it is no longer a quiz. How you can just make your can just deal with the responses, questions, how you can just send, how you can change a theme, how you can just preview, how you can use sections anytime you're just creating forms. Guys, I hope you have seen everything, how you can just deal with questions, forms, how can you set multiple questions, how you can set scaling questions, how you can just use paragraph to answer short answers, and so on. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and keep exploring while it's here in Google Forms. Enjoy this. I'll see you next time.